is your Trader. This is the last call of the day. So we'll take a look here at Bitcoin, at Ethereum ETF, ETHU. Take a look here at gold and silver, and we'll take a look here at crude oil and natural gas, and we'll take a look at the indexes, which are all bleeding red now. All right, at the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas, along with the EIA report for natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell, stock, commodity, ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Alrighty, here we have Bitcoin daily and weekly chart. Now you can see how she's just coming right on off here, very, very hard. Today so far we made a low of 107,825. What we're looking for is right here at 107,790. So far it is holding it. Okay. Now if that area is lost, then what we're going to be using, we're going to come right down to the bottom of this candle right there. You're looking at 195. And then we come down to the bottom of this candle here, looking at 105,440 level, okay? And then what we'll do is we're going to be attacking this 200-day at 103,537. Now, if that is lost, then we have this 50-day here on the weekly chart of 102,283 level, okay? So I've been pointing this out for a while here, but again, on a closing basis, we really need to hold this 107,790 level. If not, we're going to venture right on down right there at that 105,440 level. Okay, very, very fast, very, very easy. Okay, now 103, this is going to be, has to hold if it comes down to that area, and you have to hold if it comes down to that 50-day like it has in the past. Now, if it comes down there, this chart is still very, very bullish with series of higher highs and higher lows. The key is you have to hold that if it gets down in this area. Now here on the weekly chart on the upside, well, you can see how this 8-day now is trying to roll over. Okay, it's getting close, but not quite there at that 21 SMA here. So that's going to be your resistance on a weekly by tomorrow, 112,730, and then we have that 113,599 level. Okay, but this is looking very, very ugly, like it's coming right off. So for me today, BITI was the trade. Okay, that is the short on the old Bitcoin. Okay, so that's what I got going right now, and I'm going to see if we can come back and hold not only that 107, 190 level, but maybe it can hold that 108,555. Usually at the end of the day, unless you get a really big sell-off going into the end of the day, a lot of times you'll get that the short sellers will be buying back a little bit here at the end of the day. Okay, now RSI here, you're not overbought or oversold. The green is below your red, shows momentum to the downside, and that's what we got. So again, we're watching these two key levels, that 107,790 level, and then we're watching that 108,555 level. Now, if we get it back above that, well, then we just can take everything in resistance, just the opposite, 109,270 level. Then we'll come up to yesterday's low at that 410 level, and then we'll come to today's high at 112,280, and then we'll be looking for that 100-day at 113,375. Now, right above it, we have that 50-day, and then we have your 21-day. But now look at this 8-day. See how that's rolling over? You're going to be crossing that 21-day, the 50-day. That's going to provide very, very strong resistance, just like we had here. Okay, so again, for me, this is just a two-way trade going on here. I'm ready now. I'm long the BITI, and I'm going to see if we can hold this positions, and then I'll be watching this at 6 p.m. tonight to see if we're going to keep on selling down. Then we'll be looking right here at that 200-day, and we're looking right at that 50 SMA for support levels if it keeps right on rolling. All right, let's take a look here at that Ethereum ETF, ETHU. All right, Ethereum doing the same thing. Now you can see not overbought or oversold. Green below your red, looks like it just wants to go lower. Okay, so now what we're watching on a closing basis is this price channel right there. 109.21, you have to hold that, okay? That's going to be very, very critical. If we don't, then we'll come right down to the bottom of this candle, 106.52 level. We have 105.46, and then we'll come down to the bottom of this candle. We're looking at 102.62. Then we'd be looking, we can come all the way down here to that 200-day sitting down there at that 92.79. Now, the upside, well, you got to cross the back a bit, get above that 100-day, 112,222. Then we can start marching this back up here again. You have 2010 level. You got 122.86. We have 126.49. And then we come up to your 8-day at 129. And then we have your 21-day. Then obviously your 50-day. However, look at this 8-day. Cross the 50-day. Cross the 21-day. We're going to provide very, very strong resistance. You got to get back above that 8-day in order to go higher. Now, weekly chart by tomorrow. Okay, so far we're barely hanging on to that 21-day, 111.47. But this is the key, is that 50-day at 107.91. I got to hold that by tomorrow. Otherwise, this could go much, much lower. You have big targets here all the way on down. Now you can see here, not overbought or oversold. The green is about right across the red. So this looks like it wants to go like with the rest of the market. We want to go take it south, okay? But again, if it comes down to this 92 area, okay, and it holds it, that could be a buying opportunity then if you're trading this to take it on the long side. Okay, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. All right, gold, silver, parabolic moves, okay? 43.14. I traded it really good today to GLD. I'm totally out of the trade now, and I'm going to wait and see because we are at nosebleed sections. So how I've been doing this is it's just doing this for day trades with the GLD. It's been working out very, very nicely, okay? Now you can see here we're 4 days up above that price channel. A lot of times it wants to come right back in. So again, you're looking at 43.114. I think you're going to be going to that 4,500 area, okay? That's just how it looks like it wants to play out. Now, overbought right to the max. Absolute nosebleed up here. A section, but again, that doesn't mean it can't just keep on going higher. Okay, it's going to go higher until it's not. Now, as long as we're holding this 8-day, we're looking good. So on the downside, you want to watch yesterday's high, 42.35. You want to watch the top of that candle, 41.90, and then on top of there, 41.37, and then we want to watch that 41.14, that 8 days. As long as we're above that, it's sideways to up action. But right now, next level is going to be 43.50, 4400, but I'm really looking for that 4500 on the old gold. Okay, now silver, you can see really big overbought condition here, but it was a really good trade. We had negative divergence earlier, okay, then it just blasted right on up here. Okay, so really nice. That 52.63 when we're down here, I'm looking for this 55 area here on silver. That's what I'm looking for. Now you can see we get 53.61, obviously your next level 54, but I really think I'm looking for 55 on there, and I'm looking for 45 here now on the gold kind of a situation. Okay, so I was actually looking for 4,000. We blew that out. Now looking for 50. That blew that out. So SLB is a really good, easy way to trade this and stay with the GLD. Now this came all the way down, and we hit a low there today of 51.19. So all I got to do is look right to the left of the chart. Okay, you had 50.89. See how nice that held it? So just look at the left there. That was your support level. Okay, your next level would have been right down to the bottom there at 50.31, and then we have your 8-day, but it held that level. That made me say, okay, I'm going to jump in, take this trade, and boom, after she's rolling. So right now here, I'm out of the trade, and I'll be looking to take it, along again tomorrow. Again, as long as it keeps on holding that 8-day, I just take it long every day. All right, let's take a look here at crude oil and natural gas. All right, here we have crude oil, daily and your weekly chart. Okay, now you can see here that we had this double top situation. Okay, double top situation, came down, tried to rally up like a bear flag situation into the 21-day, couldn't do it. Boom, all the way down, and now we're just stair-stepping all the way on down here. Now today we put in another lower low. So your support level is 57.26. So I said, all you got to do is look over to the left of the chart here. What do you see? Okay, 57.03. So he came right in 23 cents of that. So that is your next level. Now, if it keeps rolling down, we come down here to 56.39. Then we have this retest at 55.30, and then your big boy at 55.12 level. Okay. So when we're up here, I said eventually this is going to go in the 50s by the end of the year, and it actually is rolling down here nicely. But I don't see anything here that's going to take this up. Now, T-Man is going to get here with Putin. If they can sign some kind of agreement there to shut that war off with Ukraine, I'm telling you right now, this is not going to rally. Now, they're talking about this. They're kind of rallied up to this morning here. And the UCO was actually a pretty good trade. Overall, I just scalped a little bit on UCO. I'm long the SCO on the short. But because they said that India is not going to buy oil now from China, okay? So that's what they say. So that's why it popped up a little bit, but it's got no juice. Look at where this 8-day is, 21-day, 50-day. Everything is just waterfall all the way on down. Now, here's your weekly chart, okay? So this is what we're watching on the big dime right there, okay? 55.12, that's going to be a very, very crucial level, okay? So now if we get past that, then what we're going to do is we're going to bring this price channel right across here, and then you got a 53.93. That's going to be your next level. Okay. Then we go right here. The next level is going to be 49.43 level. Okay. Then we can come all the way down here. Got 46.26 level, and then we can come all the way down here. Okay, down to that 33.64. Now I'm not saying that's where it's going to go. I'm just saying those are the targets if we start losing this key level right there at that 55.12 level. Now you have a huge glut going on in oil, and read a very interesting article on how 26 is also going to be a very, very huge glut going on. So it's going to take time to, get this price back up. So, but in the meantime, what we do is we trade that short ski off of that double top. So I say I'm long the SCO, and I just, any kind of a scalping, I'll just do with the UCO, but I'm using that SCO almost as a hedge, and it's working out very, very nicely. And this is the big target that I'm looking for again, is the retest of 55.12. Okay, let's take a look here now at natural gas. All right, here we have natural gas, your daily and your weekly chart. Now, it came in at 80 BCF. They're expecting 81, but that's, that doesn't show you nothing. You got to get that. That's a build, so you got to be, that's billion cubic feet. So you got to really have a nice, good draw here to take this on higher, okay? So right now for me today, I scalped the KOLD, and it was a very, very good trade, okay? So let me see, that's your weekly. Sorry about that. Okay, here's your daily. Now, you can see here how yesterday we had this bottoming tail close right at that 50-day, but you had a little bit of juice, but it couldn't hold that 50-day, and now we just took out, okay, engulfed the previous day's candle. That's never good. Okay, so today's low, we had 2.93. We filled this gap here very, very nicely. So bottom line, what we're looking for right next is we're looking here at that 2.91 level, 287, and then we have 284, 281, but realistically, this retest of 277 is what I'm looking for right there, okay? That's what we're looking for. Now, when you look like on a weekly chart here, okay? So we have this level here at the bottom of that candle, okay? You're looking at that 262, which is basically right there, okay? So again, if you start losing all that here, then we can come over to all these price channels here, but we're really looking to retest that 1.52 level. But again, you got to lose that 2.77 area to do that. But if you look at natural gas here, we just have like this sideways kind of an action situation. But now this time of the year, this is looking a lot better here for natural gas here to go higher. But what it needs, you got to see if we can hold this 277 level. If it can, that could be a good buying opportunity to take it back up. Okay, so now what we're looking for on the upside, we're looking to yesterday's low, 296. We're looking to the bottom of that candle at 3 flat. And then we're really looking for this 50-day at 302. You get above that, we go to today's high. You're looking at 306, and then we have that 314, and then above that, we have that 8-day at 316, and then we have that 100 SMA. Then you can rock it all the way up. But right now, we had that double top situation, and she's just selling down. Big red candle, not good. I'm looking for this 277 on the old retest. All right, let's take a look here at the indexes. All right, here we have the indexes, your Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ. Okay, now you can see the strength on this. This was your buying opportunity we had right on down here, okay? After that Liberation Day or whatever that was. Okay, that was the buying opportunity. Now, what we got going on here, we topped out here at that 47.049, trying to retest it, but you can see here we're making this series of lower highs again. So here's our candle, but the key is on the upside, we got to get back above that 8-day, which crossed over the 21-day. We have to get above that 21-day in order for us to go high and retest that 47. Now, the downside you can still see is holding that 50-day, very, very nice. We lose it, then all we do is we come down to that 45, 452 level. Then obviously we just go right across. You can check all these up, but you got your 100-day and your 200 SMA here, okay? So right now here, we're just kind of sitting sideways action. We had a really nice, good run up. Now, again, just because we had this little the sell-off here today, you say, oh, this could go lower. Yes, it obviously could. However, if they get a deal with the government and T-Man gets a deal with Putin to shut the war off, you could reverse this here real quick, and this could go rally right back up here again. Okay, so don't get too excited about it. We got the exact same thing happening on the S&P. We logged that 21 days crossing over, came on down, but we're still holding that 50-day. So as long as you got to respect that. As long as we're holding that, we're in good. If now we can go to the 100-day and the 200-day, we'll get more specific once we start losing that area. Okay, now we have here is a NASDAQ. It's the exact same thing, same chart, but you notice that we're still holding the 50-day and we're way off. But look at that 8-day on all these charts. Okay, this one is already crossed on the Dow. This one's getting close, and this one here is getting close. Okay, so that's going to provide very, very strong resistance. That's always bearish when that 8-day crosses over that 21-day. But again, respect it because we got the 50-day at 2280. That's what we're going to be trading against, okay? So we have negative divergence going on here, negative divergence here, and obviously negative divergence there. So eventually, like I've been saying here for I don't know how long now, that these markets can't keep going up and up and up. And it's the same thing that's going to happen to gold and silver. So that's why I just traded daily, because you're at nose bleed territory there. And eventually when it comes off extremely hard. Not just one day, but multiple days, and just sell that up. Again, okay, they get that government straightened out. You get some of the stuff straightened out. You get these tariffs straightened out here. This market could turn and rally up here. But again, nothing lasts forever up at these nosebleed sections. Okay, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here tomorrow morning. Remember, tomorrow's Friday. So we want to go out on a good positive note. It's been some really good trading this week. I mean, to me, I just love it. I think it's great. You know, the KOLD for the natural gas short is working. You know, the SCO is working. Palantir worked really good. That was a really good trade there today. Tesla, I jumped in on the short, TSLS. That was a good trade today. TQQs was a really good trade. Got all the way up to 106.33. I dumped it out at 106. I didn't get that extra little bit, but who cares? That was still a good trade from yesterday. NVIDIA was a good trade. So if you don't find what you want, you know, there's always something else out there. And then always keep your eye on that Bitcoin short, BITI, been working very nicely. All right, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.